Hi, everybody. Welcome to Jet Live. I'm here with the Fox family. We've got Abigail and Luis here in Israel in their home. Daniel's in Trufin in the army, as you can see. And Rebecca is coming to us all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. So this is amazing. I'm so glad that we could get them all together here.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. I'm just gonna pull up the live feed, but how's everybody doing today? I mean, this morning, today, how's it going?
Doing pretty well. Had a pretty productive morning.
Right.
So feeling good about myself.
Pretty productive. Awesome. Yeah. That's great to have productive days these days is always a win. So let's get into a little bit about the family history. So you guys all have been in theater here in Jerusalem. Luis, have you been on the stage in Jerusalem? Or you just come to every single show?
I have not been on stage in Jerusalem. I did have a couple of experiences on stage as a kid, as a teenager, but it's not. I like, as I like to tell people, I like to be on my side of the curtain. I'm a dedicated audience member. There's an important role for the audience to play, and I'm quite happy to play that. I love watching the shows. I have no particular desire to be on stage.
And you do an amazing job as that dedicated audience member.
Well, she has a very distinct laugh.
If you have someone like me feeding the laughing and the reacting, then it helps the audience to react to the show, and that's generally a good thing.
Yeah, that is the best. Those are the best times for the cast, is when the audience is just engaging with them. We love those moments. So how did you get these wonderful performers, actors, singers? You guys do it all. Where did it come from? Like, where did it start?
Where did it start? Maybe think of the song "Thank You for
have their own points of when
it just happened before, dancing before they could walk and singing before they could talk. It's just certain amount of definitely genetic. I definitely did my part.
You played music.
Sorry?
It started from you, didn't it? Because you always played music.
I play a few instruments. I'm a member of an orchestra in Jerusalem, which I miss very much and can't wait to get back to it.
So we always had that in our lives.
You had that in your lives, that's true. And we took you to shows. I always enjoy, I was taken to shows as a kid in England, everything, concerts and Gilbert and Sullivan and ballet and whatever came to town, we went to see. And so I grew up with a love of theatre and wanted to give that. I was delighted to find that there was a lot of theatre opportunities to take the kids to, mostly in English. Seem to be a lot more family-friendly shows available in English than there are in Hebrew. I'm thinking of what Robert Binder said last week about the culture being different. It's a lot less of a theatre-going culture, and the shows that they do have for kids tend to be terribly didactic and boring, or just, I don't know, the Israeli culture, it's different. Joshua and I did go to a play actually an original musical in Tel Aviv a couple of years ago. It was fantastic. It was called Shaul HaMelech, and it was wonderful. It was very funny. Yes. I would love to see it again. I would recommend anyone to go and see it if you find them doing it again. But the Tel Aviv audience just sat there. They just sat there. They didn't react, and it was funny, and it was good, and there was a certain amount of. They wanted some feedback from the audience. There were times when characters entered through the audience. Came to think about the ACI, where they would use interaction with the audience, and people in the audience just didn't react. And I was like, well, what is this? I was the only one laughing. Joshua and I were the only ones laughing out loud, and people turn and stare at you because you're laughing. I get that actually also in the opera here in Jerusalem. People glare at me for laughing. Opera's funny.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you Shlomit's joining us tonight, and I just saw her do an opera at her at the academy, and there were some really funny moments.
It was very funny. It was great.
Yeah. I actually just contacted a bunch of those actors from Shaul HaMelech recently to try to get them to be involved in the show that I was doing.
Get them to bring Shaul HaMelech to Jerusalem. It is such a good show. Original music, original songs. We liked it.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome. So Rebecca, Abigail, and Daniel. What was the first show that you guys remember seeing? Like, how old were you, or do you even remember?
I don't know. I forgot. I don't know about the first show because we've just been going since before we have a memory, I guess. So it's just always been there. And there are some shows that I remember snippets of, but not the whole thing. But I don't know.
I'd say probably maybe Pirates. Pirates of Penzance. However many times ago. Second time.
It's happened like 4 or 5 times already.
I think
right?
the second production of Pirates.
The second.
2003, 4.
And ever since then, you were. All right, Daniel's.
I took
for a
Daniel.
second.
I took Daniel with me when I went to see Guys and Dolls, when Capitol Theatre put on Guys and Dolls. Daniel was 10 months old. Howie playing Nathan Detroit and Gabby as Adelaide, and a friend
I can't say I remember that.
which is one of my favorite musicals. And Daniel was 10 months old at the time, and I couldn't leave him at home and go to the theatre without him. But knowing Daniel, I figured he was the kind of baby who would just sit entranced through it, and he did. I got a lot of black looks going into the theatre with it. I didn't ask any kickback questions. I got a lot of black looks going in there with the baby. And then during the intermission, people were coming over to me saying, "Your baby's so well behaved." And he was absolutely entranced by the music. At some point during the second act, he finally fell asleep, but he was not a trouble to anybody. But I wouldn't have taken him to the theatre if I knew he would bother anybody.
Well,
Conversely,
I can't say I remember that.
about 2 years
was
when I
Rebecca the
couldn't
guinea
go to the
pig?
theatre at all because Abigail would not sit still and quiet.
And what about Rebecca? I mean, like, where was she? Would she go to the theater when she was there?
No, Rebecca would have sat quietly through theatre, but I didn't have a situation quite like that. There used to be a series of concerts in at Sora. They were basically aimed for kids. It was also performed in other places around the country. The Jerusalem Theatre had performances, and I forget where else, in Tel Aviv. And Ronnie Porat did a whole program of concerts for kids, about an hour long each. Excellent stuff. And I always took the kids to that. I enjoyed them too. You remember those concerts? Sure
I
you do.
remember that. A
Okay.
significant part of my childhood, I remember.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So, you guys have the three of you been in a show together yet? I know Daniel and don't.
Our first show ever,
so-
yes.
I know Daniel and Abigail were in
We've been in shows.
Sound of Music.
But neither of us have been in the show.
Well,
before.
there's musical or play because
And Lau and Doobie, I just have to say
Oh,
that
that's
Doobie
true.
Harvey sang the Von Fox family. So
A Winter's Tale, when
Ah.
I think I was about 4 or 5.
We're in a
The
winter show.
Choftmans,
The homeschoolers
the
production.
homeschoolers production of A Winter's
Winter
Tale.
production.
oh, you got
Dina
Dina
it.
directed it. Dina
Choftman.
Choftman produced
Right.
and directed it.
Yeah, I played Hermione,
Yeah.
and everyone had a part.
Everyone had
I
at
think
least
I was
one line.
Lord too.
Yeah, I've heard of those. I've heard of those homeschool productions. Yeah, you guys grew up doing homeschool theater.
Toby taught them.
That's it.
Toby ran a drama chug
Well, he took it over from Dina.
for a while,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
taught them a lot of improv games and a lot of the basic drama skills, and gave them a lot of the confidence to go out there and take auditions and try and get involved. Toby gets a lot of the credit too for encouraging them and giving them skills to move forward with.
I think that's also where my love of Shakespeare started.
Yeah, they're amazing with Shakespeare. Actually, saw Toby and Tammy both came in to Crossroads and did a Shakespeare evening workshop at some point last year. When I asked him to come in, and he's been amazing with that. He really is. I hope they continue to do theater. They have their own little kid now.
Right.
And yeah, she's so cute. But that's so amazing. So I actually remember, Daniel, I mentioned you a few times on this forum on Jet Live.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, how I met you in HMS Pinafore, and
Yeah.
and you're doing such amazing stuff now with the Army. I mean, I feel this has been a really tough time for you. You were supposed to go traveling with the Army, and
We were supposed to go to Poland.
Yeah.
generally, we fly to Poland for around the time of Yom HaShoah and perform with March of the Living in Poland. But this year we didn't go because Corona.
But I'm sure
that's always something I look forward to every year.
Yeah,
Every
you
year.
were practicing a lot. I remember that. You were practicing a lot for that. Do you think how many you have another year or so?
About a year and a half.
So you think you'll get the chance next year? You hope
Yeah.
so. And I don't.
Zrat Hashem, I'll be able to fly next year.
Bezrat Hashem. I hope we're all flying somewhere, even if it's Teilat. Really nice. But and we have Rebecca here, who's actually she just switched screens with me. That was really cool. Oh, because Daniel, you closed yours for a second.
Yes.
Now you're next to me. I don't know if people noticed that on the screen. So Rebecca, and you had like a whole change of plans with where you're doing. You were supposed to be here now, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, I had flights booked for last Sunday to go back to Israel to visit. Those were all canceled, so I don't know when I'm gonna be able to come back. Hopefully soon. I missed everyone there.
But how are you handling that? How is Atlanta for you?
It's okay. It's not so bad. Everything is also shut down here. Has been shut down for the last couple of months and starting to open things up a bit more also. It's the main thing that's missing for me is all of my extra things that I do that just make life fun. Like I take dance classes and I play in an orchestra, and so obviously I haven't had any of those in a couple of months. That's really, I think, the hardest thing for me.
For all of us, yeah.
Yeah, but you guys, I understand. You told me before that you get together every day almost on Zoom, of course, but it's still
The family in Israel, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Also, Rebecca.
Home, plus
Uh-huh.
both sets of grandparents who live in Israel.
Mhm.
But we
Sometimes
have come
Rebecca
together
joins,
via Zoom.
but it's a problem because of the time zones.
Yeah, time zones are pretty difficult, but
Sundays usually.
that's awesome. Rebecca, you do have something that you've been carrying through the years that I'm sure that you could do now. It's hands off. You don't need the camera looks like it's pretty secure. You want to try it right now? You got a lot of space over there. It looks like.
Sure. It's 8 a.m. and I just recently got up, so it's a bit cold, but I'll do it.
This is Rebecca's favorite pose. She does it
Same.
everywhere she goes.
She's taken photos all over the world of her doing this, basically.
And now it's going to
Okay,
be on
ready?
Jet Live.
Ready?
Nice.
Bravo.
Nice. That form was perfect.
Well done.
Perfect. Well done. Thank you. Thank you. That's the arabesque. Rebecca.
You have an Instagram. You have an Instagram account just for arabesques, I believe.
I have an
Yeah.
Instagram called Adventures Arabesque where I post pictures of me doing arabesque
All
around
over
the world,
Oh,
everywhere
wow.
I've gone.
You
Something
guys
that
go
like
check.
I carry with me.
Go check that out on Instagram. Adventures Arabesque.
Adventurous arabesques.
Adventure Arabesques.
Adventure arabesques.
We'll write that in the comments when you're able to check the Jet Live afterwards. You could write it in the comments. Let everybody know. So you all have done musicals. You've been on stage. What's your favorite? What's your favorite one? Everybody, don't answer at once.
So we've been in.
You've been in. You want to do. You want to do together.
In
As a
terms of want to
family?
do, I really want to do Newsies, but I don't think we have enough dancing teenagers in Jerusalem to do that, unfortunately.
It's hard.
I feel like every show I've done has had a favorite moment, has had a favorite aspect of the show. But favorite overall, I'd have to say She Loves Me, which was the most recent one at the ACI. I think I particularly liked it because it was a smaller cast and I felt a stronger connection to everyone rather than other shows I've been in where it's a big cast, which is great. It's a lot of fun, but it it's harder to form a group connection when there are so many people. So, and also She Loves Me was just so much fun, and the music was amazing, and
It's a wonderful
yeah,
show.
it was a great show.
Was Rebecca, Daniel?
Well, my favorite would have to be, favorite show I've been in would have to be Your Good Man, Charlie Brown.
Mm.
But you were
Snoopy.
amazing in that.
Thank you.
You had so much fun in that. It was so.
It was
so
the best, and it's always been a dream of mine. It's one of my dream roles that I always wished I could play. So glad I got the opportunity to, and it was everything I hoped it would be.
And I actually, by the way, the way we did those auditions, we were in the room, you, me, and Howie, and you just blew it away.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank
You
you.
were so amazing.
Yes, you were in the room.
I looked at Howie and I was like, I felt bad for him actually.
Thank you.
Because you really blew it away. You came in, you knew what you wanted, you prepared, you went in, and you knocked it out.
Well, actually, I auditioned for Schroeder. I didn't think I was good enough to get
He
Snoopy.
said, I would love to play Snoopy, but they're not going to give me Snoopy. I'm
But you-
I figured they would
really
give it to
happy to
somebody
play
better.
Schroeder. That was
But
the approach.
That was the approach.
But you did the Snoopy role. You came in with the.
I mean,
the
yes.
Snoopy- Yeah.
It was,
Extremely well.
I was at least going to audition with.
So you went in having expectations, got to get a little disappointed. So
Aspiring. Look, I've always told them that when they go to an audition, that you go, you prepare, you go, you do the best you can. And if you don't get the role you wanted, doesn't mean that you're bad. It means that somebody else was more suited to the part, or somebody else fit the director's vision of how they want that part to be. It doesn't say anything negative about you. You can be, depending on what the competition is, who else comes to audition, somebody else is a better fit, they're going to get the part.
yeah, you could. You
Doesn't
could
always
just,
make it easier.
No, it's really hard, but just preparing and doing your best and going in there and having that positive thing of there's somebody else that's also really great in the community that can step up. That's a good way to look at it too. So Rebecca, how about you?
I think one of my favorite shows I've been in was Rent a few years ago. It was just so much fun. The energy, the emotions, the dancing, it was so much fun. I think one of my favorite shows I've seen in Jerusalem is Next to Normal, which I
absolutely.
went to almost all of the performances of.
I remember that.
I want to come back for more. It's
You were
so
in
good,
that.
and it's so
Absolutely.
amazing.
So both of those
That's my
shows are
favorite
actually
too.
have a very special place in my heart. It's that year where I started dating Dina again, and Rent. I proposed to her with Seasons of Love. So yeah, I saw that show at least 3 times. I think mostly to be able to see Dina as much as possible during that time, even though she was working backstage. And Next to Normal, we're actually, I'll just bring it out there. We're gonna have the whole cast here on the 24th on Jet Live. I spoke to Corin Feldman. I said, "Hey, come do Jet Live." He's like, "Next to Normal reunion." I'm like, "Is that part of what you want to do?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" So I got they're all going to be here the 24th at 8 p.m. so we could get the Tal and Corin are both in the States. So that's going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. Oh, you're getting such you guys, you've got Daniel Lewin and Shlomit and Rivka Duray and Dubi I mentioned. Aviva Solkowitz is watching. There's a bunch of others that have been watching. You got Marty Wiesel, Yossi Mark.
Really?
Wow. Yeah.
Yay! Hi everyone.
One of the things that I miss about this Corona period is having a lot of these great people come over and spend Shabbat with us. We've had a lot of the people that you've just listed off have spent at least one Shabbat at our home, and it's always so much fun and so much singing. And I can't wait to get back to that when life.
And you mentioned Yossi Mark. Yossi Mark used to be a member of this Laka that I'm currently in.
Yeah.
He left only a few months before I joined.
Wow. It's in good hands now. It wasn't in good hands then. He's definitely awesome. Maybe we'll get him on Jet Lag too at some point. Yeah, that's the Shabbatot or something that I think is such a special thing about our community. I just recently posted the blog on the jetcommunity.org about Lauren Flaherty, and like she said something that was really special is that when she joined the Encore production of Guys and Dolls, people started inviting her over for Shabbat and her family over for Shabbat, and she was like, "Wow, I found my community." And we also, Dina and I, and that's something that really is missing. But it's nice. It's nice to have, like, Dina and I haven't had like a Shabbat just us for longer than like 2-3 week period
That's
until
important
now.
too.
So that's really important. But those Shabbatot are some of the harmonies also. The harmonies that you guys probably create in the house. Just thinking about them, butterflies.
We never
Can I
stop
just say that something I love about the theater community theater people is that they're all there because they want to be there. They're not getting paid for it. It's entirely voluntary. And they're there because they genuinely enjoy performing. And so they're very often the nicest people and really, really sweet. And it's also great because there's such a scale of level of skill. Like there are a few particular people in this theater community, particularly women. There are like 3 or 4 particular women in this theater community who I genuinely look up to, and I'm glad to call them my friends, and I can learn as much as I can from them while at the same time just having fun. And I can really appreciate that.
Is that a secret? Do you wanna shout out their names?
You want to shout out?
Particularly Aviela Trepito, Shlomit Kowalski, Avital Saikora. I was about to say Balish, that's not right. Shani Warman as well, Gabby Shine, just wonderful, genuinely wonderful people who, when I watch performing, I just go, wow, they're amazing. I want to be like them. And I just kind of try to learn as much as I can from them because they're incredible.
That's
And I
awesome.
look for them and they inspire me. Yeah.
That's awesome. Do Rebecca and Daniel inspire you too?
Oh, definitely.
Of course.
Also Benjamin, our eldest brother.
Of course, and Benjamin.
You are all so amazing.
Of course. Has Benjamin done any theater as well?
He loves watching it also. He'll go to every show, but
He's with me. He's an audience member.
Okay. We need those. We need
Oh,
those,
yeah.
especially now. I mean, I just wrote a new blog about the future of theater, and it's really the audience, how they're gonna react to when theaters open up is gonna be a huge factor for the future.
Unfortunately, I think it's going to be a long time before theatres can open. The idea of having hundreds of people in a room, in a limited space, I think that's going to take longer than any of us want before it's back. I really think it's going to be another year and a half, 2 years before we're back to theatre as we used to know it, unfortunately.
But we got so many new tools, and I'm gonna challenge you guys. I haven't done this yet. I don't know how many times I've do this, but I'm gonna challenge you to create some kind of Zoom harmony singing thing, pre-recorded, to make it sound really nice. And then show it to the community, because that's what we're gonna be seeing, and people joining us for these for these moments.
I would like to suggest that we do Daniel and Rebecca's tune to Doro Yukra. It's time to get that out there in the world and get more people singing it.
Who Daniel wrote a tune? I missed that.
No, not quite.
It's based off an ancient Atlantean folk tune,
Daniel.
which has been passed down through the generations.
I came home with a new tune one weekend, and the family loved it, but we've kind of adapted it.
Well, you didn't remember the tune. No.
Daniel tried
You
to
didn't remember the
piece
tune
together what
100%,
he
so I
thought
tried to
tune
fill in the
was.
blanks. So I filled in the blanks of what you didn't remember, and so it came out not
A little
quite.
bit different.
Not the same
Adaptation.
We changed it into a major key. There are slight changes, but I think it sounds a lot nicer than
It's a
the
lot of fun.
original.
It's a nice tune.
Yeah.
Adaptation is beautiful. That's the best also for theater. We adapt. we need to adapt right now. So if you're adapting, you get a piece of music and you just adapt it to who you are and what you're doing with it. And that would be really amazing to have that to the Juriya Kra. I actually learned one from my cousin, and I might have changed it, but I don't know. Sometimes I sing it. It's a little bit dreary, so. So it's is it nice weather by you guys too? In
Beautiful. I think.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Beautiful, sunny, clear skies.
Yeah, that's amazing because it's crazy here every day. It was supposed to rain on Shabbat. Luckily, it didn't.
Yeah.
But not by us at least. But it's just beautiful days outside everywhere now. The sun's coming. There's a light. It's beautiful.
Light in the dark. It's like my next normal.
Yeah. So Rebecca, so when do you think you'll be back here? If all you don't know.
It depends on the situation. It depends. I hope within the next couple of months, because it's already been over half a year since I've been in Israel. So hopefully soon. But things are so complicated now in the world. Traveling isn't really such a viable option at the moment.
Yeah, but it's great to see you all here together. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining us again. We have this evening Shlomit Kowalski, and then this week we have a really, really awesome lineup as well. Actually, Abigail, have you ever asked Michael Burl about Newsy?
About Newsies?
About
I
Newsies?
think Miriam Mortsky and I mentioned it to him like maybe once or twice, but I don't think it really stuck in his head.
Okay, maybe at some point, but I'm going to be speaking with him. What is it? Tuesday evening, actually. So maybe I'll slip it in there again.
I'd love to be in Newsies. It sounds like the funnest show because it's got great catchy music and I love dancing. It sounds like fun.
You know who did Newsies, and I don't know how great their dancing skills are. The YU Drama Society actually did Newsies before it went to Broadway. They made their own all men version of it.
Wow.
Disney probably watched in the back and was like, it's okay. So they didn't care about doing anything. Tomorrow is Luna Grino Onosian. She's from the Philippines. She's going to be talking about her plays that she wrote. She wrote The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, Horse and His Boy, and she just wrote a play a musical recently in the Philippines. So she's going to be with us tomorrow. We've got Sam Gordon, a lighting designer from New York City. He was just working on Beetlejuice right before all this started. Then Michael Aden and Michael Burl on Tuesday. David Boccaccio Honor on Wednesday. And then we got Gabby Shine on Thursday evening, which we said earlier also was going to be the opening of Pacific. So she asked for that slot. I'm looking forward to the rest of the lineup this week. I hope you guys are too. Great to have you all, and let's just wave goodbye to everybody for now. We'll see them all soon.
Bye.
Bye everybody. Thanks for joining Jet Live.